Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Nate Lefebvre Memorial Field on the campus of Mount Michael Benedictine High School for the 2021 season football opener. Mount Michael hosting Omaha Gross Catholic. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on the Huber Cadillac Game Day Game of the Week as we kick off the 2021 season. Sebastian Santamaria knocking the ball out of bounds. Gross will have the ball first. The visitors will have Gage Mill starting under center. The starters on the line, Ryan Weiss at left tackle, Sal Nacarelli at guard, Sam Canova at center. Starting at right guard, Carson Almgren. The right tackle is Gio Gomez. Jake Garcia will line up behind Mill at the running back spot. Tommy Gilbert, the fullback. Brandon Kaborik, your tight end. And the wide receivers, Ben Rice and Jackson Drake. Ball will start out at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. You're starting D for Mount Michael. Connor Keneally up front, alongside John Balch, Drew Tegel, and Matt Janacek along that defensive line. Your linebackers Sawyer Thompson, Ethan Repke, Raul Dijaho, and Grant Foster. Starting in the defensive backfield, Ryan Stumpf, David Drews, and Daniel Mondi. Short gain on 1st down, and want to once again thank everyone for joining us. Had a downpour here earlier, not only in Elkhorn but all across the Omaha Metro. Caused a delay to tonight's game. 45 minutes late, but we are starting under smooth skies. Grass a little wet, currently 81 degrees. 8:15 kickoff just underway here in the first quarter. There's Mill on the keeper, cuts back, avoids a tackle, and that's the first down of the game. Gage Mill started the 2020 season in the backfield. Henry Tunison was the starter for Gross, but Tunison went down with an injury. The Cougars retooled their offense, and Gage Mill ended up taking the quarterback spot, and he will get the start in his senior season. 5'10", 175 pounds, and has some bigger kids in the backfield. Watch out for Jake Garcia, number 34. Fullback dive on 1st down. Garcia, one of Class B's leading rushers, tops out right around 200 pounds, and he is a load as the Cougars have 2nd and 5. Mount Michael's defense returns 4 starters from a year ago. Now 7 seniors in the lineup, 4 juniors. And it will be Raul Dijaho, number 24, middle linebacker, the player to watch on that side of the ball. Mill under center, Gilbert and Garcia in the backfield, short gain there. We'll set up 3rd down as the Knights try to get a stop on the first possession of the ball game. Mount Michael coming off a winless season in 2020, 0-8, under head coach Greg Wunderlich. The Cougars were 3-6 a year ago. This was the season opener for both teams last year on the road at Gross. Cougars pulled out a 7-3 win late in the game. Mount Michael was ahead the entirety of the game. Let the win slip through their fingers, and that set a bad tone as the rest of the season went downhill from there. Looking to bounce back here in 2020. Mill calls his own number, and he will get across that 1st down marker. as the Cougars continue to move the chains under head coach Tom Van Hout. Still a young team, sophomore-laden varsity starting lineup last year. Many of those players also saw action as freshmen, so their third year as varsity players. And Tom Van Hout looking to have that experience come up big as the Cougars march through this season. Good gain on first down. The Cougars will be run heavy with Mill under center. In talking with Coach Van Hout, you can expect to see Henry Tunison, the junior, and we might even see the third-string quarterback, Colby Duncan. Van Hout said that he is comfortable playing all three. All three bring different talents to the table. Mill, certainly the strongest runner of the three, really opens up that option attack. Second down, 6 yards to go, ball at the 34, 4 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. This is the opening drive. This time Mill has nowhere to go. Keneally there to wrap him up. Connor Keneally, the junior, named a captain. A rare non-senior honor for Connor. He, Joe Trapman, Drew Tagle, John Balch, Matt Janicek, all across that front line. All juniors except for Matt Janicek. So now third down, 9 yards to go. Might be a passing situation for the Cougars, but they go power heavy with Garcia. And I believe that was Digiho in for the stop. Sets up a fourth down, and the first big decision for Tom Van Hout and the Cougars. Will they go for it on fourth down? Ball at the 33-yard line. And all signs point towards the offense staying on the field. It'll be fourth down, 5 yards to go. Mill flushed out to the right side, trying to get to the corner, and he will get the first down as the Cougar drive stays alive on a fourth down play. Injured player down for Mount Michael. Injury timeout on the field. We'll take a quick break and be back. Just over 6 minutes gone by in this opening quarter, scoreless between Gross and Mount Michael.
Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac at Huber Cadillac in Omaha. You will always find the best selection and better pricing with Huber. Shop online or at our dealership, where our dedicated professionals coordinate everything from purchase to home delivery of your new vehicle. As your Cadillac leader in Nebraska, you can be sure that your satisfaction is taken seriously. Luxury vehicle shopping made simple at Huber Cadillac, serving Omaha for over 40 years. Best selection, better pricing. Huber Cadillac, simply better.
And welcome back to the campus of Mount Michael. 6:27 on the clock as Gross is moving the ball mostly on the ground as Jake Garcia wrestles for extra yardage. Injured player on that last sequence was number 60, Drew Tagle. That would be a tough loss for the Mount. Not only a starter along that defensive line, but also the starting center on offense. And the Knights are thin on both sides of the line. Can ill afford to experience any injuries. Second down, 3 yards to go, ball at the 12-yard line. Mill hands off up the middle, but the Knight defense right there for the stop. Will be short of the first down and set up 3rd and short. Cougars have 7 returning starters on the offensive side, 3 seniors, 7 juniors, and 1 sophomore on that offensive unit. And they have had success running the ball behind that big offensive line. Ryan Weiss, Sal Nacarelli, Sam Canova, Carson Almgren, and Gio Gomez. Handoff to Garcia again, and he is rumbling and pushing and fighting, and he is just short of the goal line. But that is a first down run, and Jake Garcia sets up the Cougars at the doorstep. Jake Garcia already over 30 yards on 6 carries, 12 rushes, 64 yards for the Cougars, and they will punch it in. And it's the quarterback, Gage Mill, who converts on the 1-yard touchdown, and Gross opens the season on its opening drive with a touchdown. Andrew McNamara on for the extra point, and he will not convert. So the PAT is no good, but the Cougars are on the board. 6-0 after their first drive of the game, 4:30 left as we prepare to see Mount Michael get the ball for the first time in the 2021 season. Knights offense returns 3 starters from a year ago. Features 6 seniors, 4 juniors, and 1 sophomore. Your starting quarterback will be Jack Huber. The junior backed up Sawyer Thompson last year. Thompson has moved to running back, and Huber takes over the reins under center. Your other starters, Connor Keneally at left tackle, Joe Troutman at left guard, Tagle the starting center. We'll see if he's in the lineup, currently sitting on the sidelines after being injured. John Balch, the right guard, Matt Janicek, the right tackle. The receivers are Daniel Mondi and Ben Rempe. Sawyer Thompson at the running back spot. Raul Digiho plays the H-back. Grant Foster in the slot. Your defensive starters for the Cougars, Jack Nutter, Brandon Kaborik, Sal Nacarelli, and Gio Gomez along the defensive line. Garcia, Gage Mill, Thomas Gilbert, and Robbie Pekar, the linebackers, and in the defensive backfield, Charlie Palladino, Jaden Bowden, and Weston Miller-Aivi. Alex Cossey kicking it off, and it will be Daniel Mondi letting the ball go over his head, but some sort of confusion, thought that he might be able to leave the ball there. I thought better if it picked it up, but the Knights will start from deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 on the 8-yard line. See if Greg Wunderlich's troops can answer Gross's touchdown. We do have a penalty on the play, holding against the Knights, and that will back them up even further. On that first drive, the Cougars with 13 rushing attempts, 65 yards, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Gage Mill. And that is all the Cougars got last year against Mount Michael. 1 touchdown was enough to win it. We'll see if 1 touchdown does the trick tonight. And this isn't exactly how you want to start your season. Ball inside the 5. Huber will be in the shotgun. Thompson beside him. Digiho motions into the backfield, and he gets the ball on the first carry of the 2021 season, and Big Raul gets a big gain along that right side. Digiho, only his second year playing football, came out last year, started on the offensive and defensive lines. By the middle of the year, he was playing linebacker and lining up in the backfield. Did not touch the ball much last year, but looks like the Knights coaching staff has a different philosophy here in 2021. They're going to try and get the ball into 24's hands, and for Huber and the Knights, a little breathing room out to the 22. Sawyer Thompson's first carry. Not much running room there. Sawyer was the starting quarterback in 2021, opened the season against Gross. Unfortunately sustained a knee injury in the first half of that season opener. Missed time, came back, and promptly broke his collarbone in a game against Waverly, missed the rest of the year. Eventually had surgery on that collarbone, but starting the 21 season is healthy, and knock on wood, will be able to keep it that way in his senior year. Thompson again, short gain on second down. In talking with Greg Wunderlich to the question of why not Sawyer Thompson under center, says he wants to get his best 11 players out on the field, and Huber and Thompson fall into that category. So feels the offense is stronger with Huber under center, and Thompson, instead of scrambling with the ball in his hands, actually getting a head of steam from that running back position. Third down, 6 yards to go, ball on the 26, 2.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. First pass of the game falls incomplete, intended for Daniel Mondi, and the punting unit will trot onto the field. Sebastian Santamaria handling the kicking and punting duties for the Knights. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Huber Cadillac Game of the Week. The season opener, Mount Michael hosting Gross Catholic. Santa Maria with a clean kick right down the middle. Gage Mill will let it bounce. And the ball is downed at the 40. Good field position for the Cougars as they take over for their second possession of the game. In addition to Huber Cadillac, I want to also thank Camping World, sponsoring Gross Catholic football games. Welcome to all of our friends to the south who are tuning in for tonight's game. Full stands for the first time in 2 years. COVID did not prevent the 2020 season from happening, but attendance was limited. So for the first time in 2 full years, students filling the stands, and both schools representing well tonight. Fans all across that southern sideline. On the near side here, home field, we have some alums from Mount Michael. Past couple years watching their former classmates. Good run there by Gross, breaking tackles. Do believe that was Charlie Palladino. Apologize ahead of time. It is tough to see the numbers from our vantage point. We do not have a monitor, so some of it is a best guess. I apologize if any of these numbers are incorrect. Any way you slice it, first down and 10. Just over 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Gage Mill, quarterback keeper, and that's close to another first down. And what we're seeing so far is an experienced offensive line for Gross, with Nacarelli and Almgren and Gomez back for another turn. Big size up front, and they're creating holes for Mill, Garcia, and their teammates. In this opening quarter, 88 yards on 15 carries, averaging almost 6 yards a carry right now. Second down, 1 yard to go. Sooner or later, we're going to see a play-action pass here. Ball on the floor. Mill is able to pick it up, but will be a loss on the play. I believe that was Sawyer Thompson who got in there. The field should be wet. We had a downpour for the better part of an hour here out in the Elkhorn area. A beautiful night right now. 82 degrees and clear, but likely still some moisture on that field after the rain that came earlier. Big hello to Athletic Director Derek Spooner.
Hello, thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a good crowd out here and excited for some night football.
Derek and his crew working overtime with that rain delay. And a whistle on the field. 30 seconds to go in this opening quarter. 6-0 Gross if you're just joining us. Cougars scored on their opening possession of the first quarter. Gage Mill capping off a long drive with a 1 yard touchdown. Point after was not good, so 6-0 the score. Huge thank you to Pete Sobey Productions. Kyle running the up top camera at Landon Fogel producing and his student crew. Bringing all the action to you on the Mount Michael Strive Network. We'll be bringing you all the home games during this 2021 season. Mount Michael on the road next weekend at Blair, then at Roncalli on September 10th. Back home to face Plattsmouth on September 17th will be our next broadcast. Big shout out to everyone watching at home, including some of our former families, Jason Christo and company. Glad that you're watching the Strive Network. Our best to Jen and the kids. Hope Colin's doing great down in Lawrence. Maybe Colin's tuning in from his freshman dorm. Like I said, we have some alums here down on the sidelines. See Matt Collins down there and Cole Cordes, Jack Gottschalk. Some former football players taking this all in, trying to root their former classmates on to a victory here. Gross football, third down, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 41, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Gage Mill has gone the entire way here. Under center for the Cougars, Ben Rice splits out right. Jackson Drake to the left side. Mill calls his own number, and he's stacked up. Raul Dijiho. And that sets up a fourth down play, but Gross is going to let that clock wind down as we roll to the end of the first quarter of the 2021 senior season opener. You're watching the Huber Cadillac Game of the Week as Mount Michael hosts Gross after one. 6-0 Cougars. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a sec.
They say life is about the little things, those moments we unplug, packing up the camper after a long week, making room for new memories.
You and me, we meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
If you've wandered the mountains or ridden a trail, If you've discovered beauty that's left you speechless, or laughed like you haven't laughed in years, if the food tastes remarkably better, and the friendship is somehow deeper, you've probably been camping.
You and me, we're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
It's the best America has to offer, and it's meant to be shared. RVing is for everyone.
And welcome back to Nate Lefebvre Memorial Field, opening action of this second quarter. Cougars punting, and that one will bound into the end zone for a touchback. Good decision there by, I believe that was Ben Rempe back there. Knight's second possession of the game. So far, not much going on offense. Only 22 yards rushing. Digiho started off with an 18-yard scamper on the opening play of the game for the Knights, but since then, forced to punt. We'll see what Jack Huber and the Knights can do in this second possession. Unfortunately for Mount Michael, it looks like Drew Tagle is going to be out for the remainder of the game. He is in the cart being taken off the field, so Ian McGrain, the sophomore, will be seeing action now, replacing Tagle. Huber in the shotgun, hands it off. That is Daniel Mondi seeing time in the backfield for the first time, second series. Manages to sprint out to the left side and pick up a couple of yards. Daniel Mondi is one of the starting wide receivers, but you will also see him mix it up and jump into that running back spot. Thompson more of a power runner, Mondi more of a speed type back. And Huber carrying the ball this time, flagged down on the play in the area of holding, but we will see. And here's the call from the head official. A personal foul, chop block against the Knights, and that will push them back 15 yards. Knights also had a holding play on the kickoff, which pushed them well back inside the 5 on their first possession, now pushed all the way back to the, looks like about the 12-yard line. The 11-yard line, second down, 19 to go to move the chains. Passing situation for the Knights, Mondi, when he's not in the backfield, would be the prime receiver candidate. Ben Rempe, number 4, the other starting receiver. Grant Foster in the slot. Might also see Ethan Repke, number 22, in the passing game. And that ball is incomplete. So 3rd and long for the Knights from their own 11. Mondi the sole setback. Three receiver set for the Knights. Play action over the top, looking for Dijaho, a little tall. Was Owen Brennan there to break up the pass, and for the second straight series, the Knights will be forced to punt. Charlie Palladino, the sole setback to take the punt. Santa Maria standing on his own goal line. Short punt, ball will hit the turf and bounce sideways, and it will be good starting field position for Gross in Mount Michael territory with just over 10 minutes to go in the opening half. 6-0 the score. Gage Mill with the only points of the evening, a 1-yard touchdown run on the opening series for the Cougars. Cougars 17 carries, 83 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry for the Knights. 4 carries, 26 yards. 0 for 3 in the air. And penalties have derailed 2 Mount Michael drives. Now the defense is going to have to bow up with the ball on their own 37-yard line. Looks like we've got Colby Duncan playing quarterback. The sophomore hands it off, and Ethan Repke there alongside Matt Janacek for the stop. Duncan just a sophomore. Coach Van Hout says he's progressed quite a bit in the offseason. Says he's got a great football mind, savvy in a lot of different situations. And he mentioned that we might see all 3 quarterbacks tonight, Mill, Tunison, and Duncan. And through 1.5 quarters, we've seen 2. Robbie Pekar splits out to the right side. Gilbert the fullback, and a flag on the play. And it will be a timeout for the Cougars. A chance to once again thank our sponsor, Huber Cadillac, supporting sponsor Camping World. Appreciate their support of Mount Michael and Gross football. And it is great to see kids back on the gridiron. We have a packed house here at Nate Lefebvre Memorial Field. Last year, only direct family was allowed into the stadium. Near the tail end of the year, seniors were allowed to sit on the track, but this is the first time we've seen the student body up in those stands. The Gross side with their Hawaiian theme attire, blackout for the Knights student body. Second down, 11 yards to go. Colby Duncan, the sophomore, seeing his first action at the varsity level. And that's a familiar name, Gage Mill, not playing quarterback, but lining up at running back and fights forward for a good gain, but will set up a third down play for the Cougars. Last year's game was nip and tuck the entire way. First game at the varsity level ever played on Gross's campus, as the OPS school facilities were locked down last year, so Gross hosting it at their home turfed field as Jake Garcia comes up short on third down. This would be another fourth down situation where the Cougars may elect to go with the ball at the 33-yard line. That game was Very close. Sawyer Thompson actually had a touchdown called back in the first half. Knights got a field goal on the board in scoring territory many times, but only put 3 on the board, and the Cougars came back with a fourth quarter touchdown to win it 7-3. 4th down, 5 yards to go. Duncan back to pass, looking over the middle, and that ball is batted down. Might have been Digiho who got a hand on that one. And a nice defensive stop for the Knights as they take a situation with great field position for Gross. Ball starting on the 37-yard line. They only went 5 yards, and the Knights get the turnover on downs. Just over 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. 6-0 Gross. Knights looking for their first victory since 2020. Back-to-back playoff years, or 2019, I beg your pardon. Had back-to-back playoff runs under Sid and Ben DeMeo, the quarterbacks. First down handoff for the Knights. Thompson picks up 5 or 6. And those clubs, the 18 and 19 teams, reached the playoffs in back-to-back years. That set up a schedule for the following 2 years that has proven to be very difficult for last year's team, and this year's team will have a tough slate as well. Bad snap. Thompson actually catches the deflection, but it's still going to be a big loss. And that is where you got to wonder if Drew Tegel being out of the game makes a difference. That ball was snapped hard, high for Huber, got a hand on it, went up straight in the air. Luckily, Thompson was able to collect it, but a big loss, and the Knights now face a 3rd and 17 situation. We're talking about that schedule. 6 teams currently in the top 10 rankings in Class B are on the Knights schedule this year. So it will be tough. Ball over the middle, falls incomplete. Jackson Drake there for the Cougars. Garcia Gage Mill also in the neighborhood. And the Knights will have to punt again. A 3rd time on the field for Santa Maria. This one off the right side of the foot of Santa Maria will bounce and be down just on the other side of the 50. These two teams are very familiar. They actually camp together during the summer. Two teams played each other in that summer set. It was apparently a close game that Gross came out on top. Ball at the 47, 1st and 10. And Gage Mill is back at the quarterback position. Looking to go right side, catches the corner, pitches back to Garcia. And that will be a 1st down for the Cougars. Ball sitting at the 41. Garcia now 47 yards rushing as the Cougars go over the century mark, averaging just under 5 yards a carry. And Garcia kicks it out to the left side. Another 1st down for Gross. Good blocking on that left side by Ryan Weiss and Sal Nacarelli. Remember, only 4 returning starters on the Mount Michael defense. And they are being tested by this gross running attack. Already 22 attempts on the ground, and another first down, and another handoff to Garcia, and another decent gain on first down. Garcia, only a junior, one of the bigger backs in Class B. And this group of sophomores for Gross actually won the city championship as 8th graders. So this success has been a few years coming. And so far the Cougars looking like the stronger team through a quarter and a half here as they're knocking on the door again. Another run, this time Palladino kicks it out to the right side, a race to the end zone, and Palladino is in there. Touchdown Gross. An 18-yard touchdown run for Charlie Palladino. Andrew McNamara on for the point after. Missed his first, but nails the second. And with just under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, the Cougars jump out to a 13-0 lead. You're watching Mount Michael football on the Strive Network, courtesy of Huber Cadillac, our game day sponsor, and Camping World, a supporting sponsor. Once again, a huge thank you to Pete Sobey and his production crew. Landon Fogel at the controls for Mount Michael. Big thank you to the Mount Michael Booster Club for investing in the Strive Network so that we can bring this live stream to all of you. And a big hello to the coach's mother, Maureen Wunderlich, out in Naperville, Illinois. Maureen, if you're watching, Coach said that you'll be on your back porch with a cool drink. If that's the case, we hope you're enjoying football from Elkhorn. Alex Cossey lining up to kick for the Cougars. Ben Rempe and Daniel Mondi deep for the Knights. Mondi fields this one cleanly, looking for running room on the right side and pulled down there. And Mount Michael will see if they can get something going here with 4:36 left in the opening half. Also want to say hello to Brock Wamsley and Charlie Janacek, our resident Mount Michael football players up here in the box helping with huddle. Unfortunately injured. Wamsley's got a knee injury. Charlie is actually hit with a baseball, broke his orbital bone. Beg your pardon. First down pass, close to a first down there for the Knights. Charlie was having a great Legion season, facing Ron Colley in one of the last games as the season winded down. Was hit by a pitch, and that injury, unfortunately, is going to cost him his senior year of football.
I would have charged him.
Charlie, one of 4 Janacek boys who have played football here at the Mount. Will and Thomas Ahead of the Twins, Charlie and Matt. Matt, you're starting right tackle. Huber with the fake, calls his own number, and he will get the first down. Beg your pardon, that's Will Brewster under center. Will is a junior quarterback, backs up Huber. Looking along the Mount Michael sideline, doesn't appear that Huber is hurt. Maybe just getting a quick rest here. As Brewster gets his first turns under center. Tough snap. Looking to pass, looking for Mondi on his hands, but Daniel couldn't collect it. Brewster put the ball out in front, but Daniel just couldn't quite grab it. He'll sub out here, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 31. 3:15 to go, 13-0 Cougars in this 2021 senior opener, season opener. Beg your pardon.
Somebody wants to be on the golf course.
And here comes Digiho running downfield, and here goes Raul. And Raul cuts back, finally cut down by Robbie Pekar. But Digiho with a big gainer for the Knights, and Will Brewster in his first series under center moving the Knights. And unfortunately, a flag down on the play, and this one's coming back, folks. Holding on the call will erase a big gainer by Raul Digiho. And we've seen a couple mistakes here in this opening half that have really hurt the Knights. A personal foul chop block, and now a holding call on a big gainer. And instead of first down inside gross territory, the Knights are well back on the other side of the field. Ball on the 20. 2nd down, 20 yards to go for the first. Brewster, sole setback, moves out right. Looking to the sidelines and incomplete, looking for Sawyer Thompson. Should mention that Luke Broderick is not in uniform for the Knights. Luke, one of the top receiving targets for Mount Michael last year, entering his senior season. Had a full season of summer baseball, playing for the Prospects, traveling nationally. Getting a late start to this football season. They expect Luke to join the team next week. But for now, he is not in uniform, as the Knights are facing 3rd and 20. Brewster kicks it out to Sawyer Thompson. Thompson hauls it in, but not much doing there, as the Knights will be forced to punt with just over 2 minutes to go. We mentioned Broderick, a missing piece for the Knights. Gross also missing one of their better football players in Connor Capisi. Capisi played center, the starting punter, played quarterback for Gross last year. And like Broderick, he's concentrating on baseball. One of the better prospects. Bad snap on the punt. Santa Maria into the end zone, tries to get rid of it. Ball is loose, and it will be ruled an incomplete pass. But another big mistake on the Knights side, as the Cougars will take over deep in Mount Michael territory. Minute 53 on the clock.
Take over where the ball is.
We've seen a couple bad snaps. Drew Tagle, the starting center, out with an injury. We mentioned how thin they are on both sides of the line, and tough to see plays like that. Also tough to ask a backup to come in and take over those snapping duties. So a minute 53 on the clock, ball sitting at the 23-yard line. Santa Maria actually did save some space by throwing an incomplete pass. Bad snap on the Gross side. And this time it's Henry Tunison in the game. Tunison, the third quarterback we've seen in the game for Gross. He was the opening day starter for Gross last year. Went down with an injury. Coach Van Hout and his staff had to change somewhat the offense, put Gage Mill under center after trying a couple of options, and speaking of options, really geared up that option attack. So they play a little bit different style depending on the personnel at that quarterback spot. Tunison with a stronger arm than the rest of them. He is more of a natural passer, and you see it here. Looking to the end zone, and the ball is caught. Touchdown, Gross. And that was Weston Miller-Ayivi hauling in the touchdown pass from 29 yards as Gross capitalizes after the bad snap on a punt attempt. And the Knights are in a hole here. Kick is good, and our score now 20-0. Gross on top of Mount Michael.
Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac at Huber Cadillac in Omaha. You will always find the best selection and better pricing with Huber. Shop online or at our dealership, where our dedicated professionals coordinate everything from purchase to home delivery of your new vehicle. As your Cadillac leader in Nebraska, you can be sure that your satisfaction is taken seriously. Luxury vehicle shopping made simple at Huber Cadillac, serving Omaha for over 40 years. Best selection, better pricing. Huber Cadillac, simply better. Find a better way to purchase.
In the opening half, as Gross has jumped out to a 20-0 lead. A Gage Mill 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. First Charlie Palladino scampering 18 yards for the touch, then Henry Tunison connecting 29 yards on the touchdown to Miller-Ayivi. And the Knights have a hole to dig out of. Grant Foster returning the kick out to the, looks like right about the 20. The 22 to be exact. And with an inexperienced team coming off a winless season, tough to have mistakes like a chop block, personal foul, the big holding call on the Digiho run, a bad snap on the punt attempt. Will Brewster still back in. Not quite sure what the story is with Huber. He's standing on the sideline next to the coaching staff, so at least nothing to suggest that there's an injury at play here. .30 seconds and counting in this opening half, and I think Greg Wunderlich is going to be content to let the clock run out here. One more play on 2nd and 5, ball on the 27. Probably going to see a handoff here, almost another bad snap. And the clock will click down to double zeros And a tough first half in the home opener for Mount Michael. Down 20-0 to Gross Catholic. We're going to take a break on the Mount Michael Strive Network. Get a breather for halftime, and we'll be back with all the second half action. Once again, you're watching the Huber Cadillac Game of the Week. Your halftime score, Gross Catholic 20, Mount Michael 0.
Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac at Huber Cadillac in Omaha. You will always find the best selection and better pricing with Huber. Shop online or at our dealership, where our dedicated professionals coordinate everything from purchase to home delivery of your new vehicle. As your Cadillac leader in Nebraska, you can be sure that your satisfaction is taken seriously. Luxury vehicle shopping made simple at Huber Cadillac, serving Omaha for over 40 years. Best selection, better pricing. Huber Cadillac, simply better. Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac.
They say life is about the little things. Those moments we unplug. Packing up the camper after a long week. Making room for new memories.
You and me, we meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
If you've wandered the mountains or ridden a trail, if you've discovered beauty that's left you speechless, or laughed like you haven't laughed in years, if the food tastes remarkably better and the friendship is somehow deeper, you've probably been camping.
You and me.
Camping World of Omaha is your one-stop shop for everything RV. Shop from the top manufacturers, the best floor plans, and the most competitive prices in the Omaha area. Travel trailers starting at only $99 per month. Plus, buy an RV from Camping World and receive access to the Good Sam Elite loyalty program, offering incentives valued at over $2,000. Don't miss out on the incredible deals at Camping World, located just east of Exit 1B on I-29 in Council Bluffs. Payments not inclusive of tax, title, license, prep, and dealer dock fees. See dealer for details and full disclaimers. Camping.
On the Knights side, 2 quarterbacks have played. Will Brewster, 2 for 4 for 50 yards. Jack Huber, 0 for 4. On the rushing tally, Raul Dijaho leading the way, 1 carry for 18 yards. Had a big gain in the second quarter, but was nullified by a holding penalty. Daniel Mondi, 1 carry, 4 yards. Brewster, 1 carry, 3 yards. And Sawyer Thompson, 5 carries for 16 yards. See what Greg Wunderlich has dialed up. See if he has some halftime adjustments that can get the Knights back into the game. They will receive the ball to open the third quarter. We mentioned that these two teams camped together in the summer, actually played. According to Coach Van Hout, head coach for the Cougars, it was a tight contest, but says that tonight will be a true test to see who has made the adjustments and improvements, getting ready for week 1, and so far the ledger has leaned heavily towards Gross. Young lineup for the Cougars, but big and strong up front, speed on the outside, a big hammer in the backfield with Jake Garcia, quick and elusive quarterback with Gage Mill, and that has been a tough equation to solve for the Knights so far. Open hole, nice gain there. Grant Foster, as the Knights will have decent field position in this opening possession of the third quarter. It'll be interesting to see who trots out for quarterback. Will Brewster is getting the call here. Jack Huber was the starter. Brewster came in the second quarter, and Brewster gets the call again here. Not sure if we're dealing with an injury with Jack Huber or not. It'd be very unfortunate if for the second year in a row the Knights lost their starting quarterback in the first half of the first game of the year. But we'll see what the junior can lead here as Sawyer Thompson kicks it out to the left side. Sawyer carries it across the sticks. First down, Knights. Good blocking by Keneally and Troutman on the left side. If you're just joining us, the starting center, Drew Tagle, left the game with an injury in the first quarter, so Ian McGrain, the sophomore, filling in at that spot. Ball just on the side of the Knights, 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Brewster, certainly a different type of quarterback than Huber, shorter, more of an option-type quarterback, as picks up 4 or 5 yards there on the carry. Huber, more of a tall, slender quarterback that maybe a little more active in the passing game. In talking with Coach Wunderlich, he said he would not be afraid to put Sawyer Thompson back under center if he had to, but he prefers to see number 7 lining up in the backfield, says he's a natural fit at that position. 4-yard gain for Brewster on first down, sets up 2nd and 6. And nothing doing that time. Gio Gomez there for the tackle. Beg your pardon, that was Jack Nutter, number 70. Senior defensive lineman stacked up Thompson. Loss on the play. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Daniel Mondi split out to the right side. Ben Rempe at the top of the screen. Rempe looking over the middle. Pump fake's going to run it. Gets out to the left side. Is he going to be able to get to the sticks? And he does. First down for the Knights and a flag in the territory of a personal foul, perhaps. Cougars only had 1 penalty for 5 yards in the first half. And that's exactly what it is, a personal foul on Gross. Late hit out of bounds will tack on 15 yards, and this is the deepest penetration for the Knights this evening. touchdown on the opening drive of the third quarter would certainly help with the confidence. Empty backfield for Brewster, 4 wide receivers. And that ball is intercepted. Brewster looking out to the flat. And just like that, any momentum snuffed out as the Cougars get the first turnover of the game. Knights look good on that opening possession, but a turnover on the 24-yard line. And Gross will take over with a 20-0 advantage. Credit the interception to Robbie Pekar, senior captain for Gross. Stepped in front of that pass, made a nice play. And the Cougars halt the momentum on that opening stretch. See what the Knights defense has dialed up here. Cole Bunner was the defensive coordinator last year. He is not back this year, so that DC spot being shared by the entire coaching staff. Randy Sirkovich, John Van Dalen, Kate Johnson, Jake Nichols, and of Coach Wunderlich. All sharing the duties there. Short pickup on first down. Sets up second down and 6. 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. I would imagine we're going to see a steady dose of Jake Garcia in the second half. It's actually the up back that gets it this time. I believe that's Tommy Gilbert, the fullback. And he will move the chains. And this is exactly what Gross's game plan was. Try and run that football, control the clock behind that big offensive line. Coach Van Hout wanted to give kudos to Coach Stanachek, the second-year strength and conditioning coach for the Cougars. Says he's done a great job with the team. They're bigger, they're stronger. Looks like a busted play there. I don't know if the ball went on the turf, but nothing doing on that. And actually, it's the Knights coming up with the ball. So yes, football did find grass and finds its way into the hands of Mount Michael. So after the Will Brewster interception, the Knights defense turns the table, gets a fumble recovery. Might have been Matt Janacek who fell on that football. He's being congratulated by his teammates. We'll check that, see if he indeed was the one that fell on the pigskin. First down, 10 yards to go, ball on the Gross 41. Digiho in motion. Now in the backfield. Brewster, play action, and is tripped up. A great play there. Jackson Franks. Brewster just about got out of that, but tripped up on the play and a loss of 9. If you're just joining us, Jack Huber, the starting quarterback, came out in the second quarter, replaced by Will Brewster, and Brewster has taken it since. Here's the first carry by Raul Digiho in the second half, and Raul rumbles back to the original line of scrimmage. Digeho had a huge run in the first half that was called back due to a holding penalty. And the Knights want to get the ball in his hands. He's probably the most dynamic athlete on the roster. And he is a tough customer to bring down. So, ball back to the original line of scrimmage, sets up 2nd down and 10. And Raul gets the carry again. So now 4th down, 8 yards to go. Offense stays on the field. Daniel Mondi checks in. Four receivers set for the Knights. Brewster with an empty backfield. And a sack on the play. And the Gross defense with a statement there. That was Sam Nacarelli getting in there to tear down the quarterback, and Gross will take over on the Mount Michael side of the field. So back-to-back turnovers and now a 4th down stop for Gross. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. No scoring yet in the second half. 3 first-half touchdowns for the Cougars. Mill, Palladino, and a touchdown pass, Tunison to Miller-Aivi. Gage Mill back at quarterback under duress. Goes out to the right side, looking deep and too long. Incomplete. I would expect Tom Van Hout to try and run the clock here in this second half. Gross has a run-heavy offensive plan to begin with. With a 20-point lead, I imagine they will try to milk this clock and get out of here with this season-opening win. Knights have been able to move the ball sporadically, but turnovers, penalties have caused inconsistency that have prevented them from putting together any sort of scoring drive. That's Gilbert on the carry. Gross over 150 yards on the ground now, averaging just over 5.5 yards per carry. Have not called Garcia's name much in this second half. Mill, straight handoff up the middle to Palladino. He breaks the tackle and look out. There goes Charlie Palladino, and the Cougars are on the board again. 41-yard touchdown run. Straight handoff up the middle. Palladino cut it back to the left side and turned on the speed. Palladino with 78 yards now, leading the way for the Cougars. McNamara, low kick is good. And the Cougars race out to a 27-0 advantage in this third quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Mount Michael football on the Strive Network.
Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac at Huber Cadillac in Omaha. You will always find the best selection and better pricing with Huber. Shop online or at our dealership, where our dedicated professionals coordinate everything from purchase to home delivery of your new vehicle. As your Cadillac leader in Nebraska, you can be sure that your satisfaction is taken seriously. Luxury vehicle shopping made simple at Huber Cadillac, serving Omaha for over 40 years. Best selection, better pricing. Huber Cadillac, simply better.
Beautiful night for football out here in Elkhorn, and it's all Gross in this season opener. 27-0 with just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. This was a close game last year. Mount Michael led the entire way before Gross punched it in the fourth quarter to take a 7-3 victory. But this one, not nearly as close. That's Grant Foster returning the kick. The offensive numbers starting to add up for Gross. 234 yards total offense, including 205 on the ground. Mount Michael just 59 yards, averaging 2 yards per play. And Will Brewster is back out. And it appears as if the junior might go the rest of the way here. Foster lumping over to the sideline. Daniel Mondi on the carry, short gain. Once again, big thank you to Huber Cadillac, our game day sponsor. Also Camping World and Colleen Almgren, Better Homes and Garden Real Estate on the Gross side. You know, we have people watching from far and wide. Appreciate you spending some time on a Friday night with us. This game was delayed by 45 minutes because of a huge downpour in the Omaha area. Not necessarily a thunderstorm, although a distant lightning strike did cause a delay of fans being able to sit in the stands. But the rain cleared out, and we've got a great night for football. It's good to see a packed house out here at Lefebvre Memorial Field. The lights are on in the baseball field. Concession stand cooking up some good vittles under the direction of Shelly Rempe. And a good turnout by both teams. We're hoping for a competitive game on the field, but that combination of the big line up front, it's Brewster, a little too tall on the pass. It'll be fourth down for the Knights. Combination of that big offensive line, the big running back, Jake Garcia, mixing it up with Charlie Palladino. Cougars have played 3 different quarterbacks and have seen nothing but success on this August opener. Santa Maria with the punt. Best punt of the night. Palladino calls for the fair catch. And this one looks like it's going to tilt in favor of Gross, barring some sort of dramatic comeback behind the Knights' backup quarterback. Once again, not quite sure what the status of Jack Huber is. We know Drew Tegel left the game with an injury. Also saw Grant Foster limping on the last series. He's currently on the sidelines visiting with the trainer. Shotgun play for Gross. And it's the sophomore Colby Duncan in. Falls down for a big loss on first down. And this is a young Mount Michael team. On the offensive side, 4 juniors, 1 sophomore, and a group of seniors who haven't seen a whole lot of action On the defensive side, only 4 returning starters. So it's going to take a while to mesh that unit together. Mount Michael, as always, facing a numbers crunch, playing in Class B. The screen pass is complete. That'll be a first down for Gross. And a flag on the play. Looked like it might be a face mask at the end on the tackle. The Knights did have over 70 players out for football this year, but the biggest chunk of them freshmen. In talking with Coach Wunderlich, he really looks at the number of returners, and that is a personal foul, a face mask on the Knights, so tack another 15 yards on the end of the play. The Knights with only a little bit over 30 sophomores, juniors, and seniors on the roster. And going up against some of the bigger Class B schools, the Scott Catholics of the world, is a tall order. Talked a little bit in the first half about the scheduling cycle. The NSAA puts together a schedule every 2 years. That ball incomplete by Duncan. So last year's schedule and this year's schedule actually based off of back-to-back playoff runs by the Knights in 2018 and 2019. So some of the weaker teams in Class B fell off the schedule. And last year it was adding Elkhorn and Scott. Elkhorn North also on that slate. Plattsmouth, Roncalli, Blair. So tough for the Knights, but they're not going to give in. And Greg Wunderlich has a very optimistic outlook. And hopefully the largest freshman class in Mount Michael history will help to bolster the numbers here in the years to come. Third down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 29-yard line, just over a minute and a half. Clock ticking in this third quarter. (27-0) in favor of Gross. Was a 13-0 game late in the second quarter. Knights punting from their own goal line, had a bad snap, turned the ball over as the pass is complete to Rice. Turned the ball over on their goal line with just over a minute to go. The Cougars punched it in on a 29-yard touchdown pass. Went from a 13-0 game to a 20-0 halftime lead. Palladino adds another touchdown in the third quarter. And perhaps a deficit just too large to come back from for Mount Michael. The Knights last year only averaged 7 points a game on offense, gave up an average of 38. So going to have to figure out a way. And nice play by Digiho there. Tackle for loss. Going to have to figure out a way to score more points. Last year when Sawyer Thompson went down and then Jack Huber went down, Coach Wunderlich late in the year decided to scrap that pass-based offense, went to an option attack with Eli Sirkovich under center, playing quarterback for the first time in his career. But getting back to a more normal offensive structure this year. Hopefully the injury bug will not bite. Wide open receiver there, and it's another touchdown for Gross. A 21-yard touchdown score, and the route is on. That was Jackson Drake on the touchdown. The kick is good, and our score is 34-0 in favor of the orange and blue. We'll take a quick break as we near the end of the third quarter of action at Mount Michael. You're watching Night Football on the Strive Network. $34-0 in favor of Gross as Alex Cossey tees it up. Just 12 seconds left in this third quarter. And it doesn't matter who the Cougars have had at quarterback, they've seen success. Duncan, the sophomore, with a touchdown pass there and a nice play by the Cougar special teams. Tunison has a touchdown pass. Duncan has a touchdown pass. Gage Mill a touchdown run. Palladino with a couple scores on the ground. It has been all Omaha Gross. And the Knights will get one play here before the quarter winds down. Brewster looks to the air. Daniel Mondi with the catch. Takes a good hit there as the third quarter ends with the Owen Brennan tackle. After three quarters, Omaha Gross Catholic 34, Mount Michael 0. We'll be back with the fourth. Once again, you're watching the Huber Cadillac Game of the Week. Mount Michael trying to get on the board. Down 34-0.
Find a better way to purchase or lease your new Cadillac at Huber Cadillac in Omaha. You will always find the best selection and better pricing with Huber. Shop online or at our dealership, where our dedicated professionals coordinate everything from purchase to home delivery of your new vehicle. As your Cadillac leader in Nebraska, you can be sure that your satisfaction is taken seriously. Luxury vehicle shopping made simple at Huber Cadillac, serving Omaha for over 40 years. Best selection, better pricing. Huber Cadillac, simply better.
Camping World of Omaha is your one-stop shop for everything RV. Shop from the top manufacturers, the best floor plans, and the most competitive prices in the Omaha area. Travel trailers starting at only $99 per month. Plus, buy an RV from Camping World and receive access to the Good Sam Elite loyalty program, offering incentives valued at over $2,000. Don't miss out on the incredible deals at Camping World, located just east of Exit 1B on I-29 in Council Bluffs. Payments not inclusive of tax, title, license, prep, and dealer dock fees. See dealer for details and full disclaimers. Camping.
We head to the fourth quarter. The Knights trying to avoid the shutout, down 34. Empty backfield for Brewster. Second down, 3 yards to go. Digeho in the backfield, but it's Brewster with the carry, and he will be short of the first down marker. Digeho has been a bright spot for the Knights tonight, leading the way on the ground. 3 carries, 29 yards, and that doesn't count what looked like a huge breakaway that was called back on a holding call. Digeho with 11 tackles so far tonight. So making a big impact on both sides of the ball. Third down, 1 yard to go. See if number 24 gets the call here. And he will. Raul picks up the first. And we've mentioned this often over the past 2 years, but Raul Dijiho never played organized football until last year. Had come out previously in his Mount Michael career, made it through part of training camp, but didn't make it past then. Perhaps a little reluctance on the part of the family, but in his junior year, he was unleashed, and expect to see big things out of Raul. Pass there is incomplete. Intended for Ethan Repke. Knights lost their starting wideouts from last year, Eli Sirkovich and Colin Christo. Ethan Repke did see time in the slot. Luke Broderick, a starter, maybe back out for football soon here, but not in uniform tonight. Play action pass. Brewster looking to the sideline, and that ball is not caught. Incomplete, looking for Ben Rempe. Rempe, a tough customer. Starting catcher for the Knights baseball team. Played without a backup for the entirety of the summer. Now starting as a senior for the first time on varsity. So 3rd and 10 for the Knights. And Greg Wunderlich trying to pass the ball to get back in this game, but it's keeping the clock from moving with a 34-point deficit. Looking over the middle, ball is incomplete, looking for Raul Dijiho. And the Knights will be forced to punt. This is still a young, Gross Catholic team. 7 juniors, 1 sophomore start on the offensive side, 5 juniors, 1 sophomore on the defensive side. And that is going to be a offsides penalty. Looked like Owen Brennan came across the line too quickly. He was all over Santa Maria, and there's a reason why. It's because he was offsides on the play, so the official will march off 5 yards, but still 4th down. And still a punting situation for the Knights. Stands are still full despite the score. The blackout of Mount Michael student. The student section is still very active over there. The Duchenne dance team leading some cheers. I think all of us can agree that it's just great to have football back and people in the stands. Knights will have to collect themselves and get back to the prep as they hit the road next week to play at Blair, Friday, September 3rd, 7:30 kickoff. Back-to-back road games. They face Roncalli the following week and return home to the Mount on September 17th to face Plattsmouth. And a timeout, Mount Michael will take a timeout as well. We'll be back with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Gross 34, Mount Michael 0. Run up the middle on first down. And with under 10 minutes to go, I think we're going to start seeing some backups perhaps on both sides. Gross is likely to try and wind the clock down here. Once again, this game was a tight one in 2020. Went right down to the fourth quarter with Gross punching in a touchdown at the end to win it 7-3. Sawyer Thompson had a huge game in the first half, starting quarterback, almost 200 yards of total offense in the first, but injured his knee. Did not play in the second half. Henry Tunison back in at quarterback for Gross. Tunison, the junior who started last year's game against Mount Michael, he also was hurt in the course of the season. That's when Gage Mill emerged as the starting quarterback for Gross, but as you've seen tonight, Coach Van Hout very comfortable with any of the three of the quarterbacks, Mill, Tunison, or Duncan. All have played well tonight. Tunison and Duncan both with touchdown passes. Mill with a touchdown on the ground. 3rd down and 4, ball on the 47. Have not called Jake Garcia's number much here in the second half as Tunison is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Do believe that was Nick Halpin on the tackle. Tough to see those red numbers on black jerseys from our vantage point high atop the press box. Halpin, a familiar name to Mount Michael fans, his older brother. Played at the Mount a few years ago, now at Notre Dame, attending college. 4th down, 10 yards to go. Punting situation for Gross. As we mentioned earlier, Connor Capisi was the starting punter for Gross last year. Not playing this year as he pursues a baseball career. So I do believe that's John Straight back there. A penalty on Gross will back them up a few yards. It'd be great to see Mount Michael be able to punch it in here in the fourth quarter just to get a little momentum as they head into preps for Blair next week. Deep rush, and that punt is blocked and recovered by the Knights. A good special teams play. And that was Halpin jumping on the loose ball. Nick Halpin with the fumble recovery on the block punt, and the Knights will take over inside Gross territory. Will Brewster trots back out. He has gotten every series since the middle of the second quarter. We do not have word on Jack Huber. Certainly hope the junior is okay. Brewster looking to pass. It's complete along the left sideline. Rempe with the catch. That is the fourth reception on the night for Mount Michael. Brings up 2nd and short. Sawyer Thompson gets around the right side, has some open running room, cuts back before he's taken down. And the Knights putting together an offensive drive here as the clock ticks under 8 minutes to go. Gross has their home opener next Friday, September 3rd, as they host Seward, 7 o'clock kickoff. A tough one the week after that against Scott, then on the road at Aurora. tough schedule for both these teams. Brewster hands it off in the middle. Thompson again. And the Mount Michael offense starting to get a little success on the ground. Thompson creeping up near 50 yards on the night. Still less than 3 yards per carry average, which over the long haul is not going to cut it. But maybe Coach Wunderlich can find a few things that work here to continue to expand on. And Raul going right side, and Raul's going to get there, but another flag on the play. Dijiho is in the end zone, but we'll need to check the flag. And judging the body language, it looks like the Knights might be stepping backwards. And this has been the story of the night. For every good thing the Knights have done, there's been something that has derailed it, and it's another holding call that will nullify the touchdown. That's the second time tonight we've seen Raul beat the defense around the right side. And Balch and Janicek over there with the blocking, but for the second time, a holding call nullifies a big pickup. So instead of a touchdown, 2nd and 6, ball on the 16. Ball high for Rempe, falls incomplete. Jackson Drake on the coverage. Looking for the jailbreak screen there. Knights 0-8 in 2020. Will fall to 0-1 in 2021. And unfortunately, the streak will continue. But looking for some building blocks here. Dijiho with the carry. Stacked up by the Cougar defense. And you start to see something that might work with Sawyer Thompson and Raul Dijiho, two very big backs. Tough to bring down. A lot of it's going to depend on how that offensive line meshes together. Only one senior along that offensive front in Janicek. Drew Tagle replacing a very good player in Sam Gustafson, who graduated last year. Sweep left, Sawyer Thompson puts his head down. He'll be close to the first down. That offensive line is going to need to mesh. Keneally, Troutman. We've seen Ian McGrain in there, John Balch, Matt Janicek. Ashton Schroeder also slated to see action as a sophomore this year. And the Knights trying to avoid the shutout here. 1st and goal from the 10. Hand off to Thompson. Stacked up. Brennan in there. Pekar in there. Short gain. Will Brewster's done a nice job coming in relief of Jack Huber. Has moved the offense, but some turnovers and penalties just general inconsistency has hurt. Passing to the end zone, looking to the corner for Rempe. Ball incomplete. So 2nd and goal from the 8. Under 5 minutes to go in this season opener. Flag on the play, but it is picked up, so no call. No infraction. In terms of penalties, hasn't been terribly dirty. 5 penalties for the Knights, albeit in very key positions. 4 penalties for the Cougars. A couple of big personal foul penalties and a couple of big holding penalties. Brewster under pressure has to unload it early and ball falls short. So 4th down and 8 from the 8. Knights have the opportunity to break the shutout with a field goal, but I believe they will be looking for the end zone. Rempe splits out to the left side. Repke in the slot. Empty backfield for Brewster. Thompson in motion. Brewster on the run, looking to the right side, and that one high and incomplete. The Knights turn it over on downs. Managed to stack a few first downs together there, but once they got down to the 10, unable to convert. And Gross takes over with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock here. 34-0 the score. Gage Mill with an opening touchdown in the first quarter. PAT was no good, made it 6-0. Charlie Palladino got loose for an 18-yard touchdown to make it 13-0. Henry Tunison, a 29-yard touchdown pass to Weston Miller-Ayivi right before the break. Third quarter scoring, Palladino a 41-yard run. Made it 27-0. And looks like another turnover. And I do believe it will be Mount Michael football. And it will be. Colby Duncan, a 21-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Drake, the most recent score in the third quarter. Makes it 34-0, and after being stopped on downs inside the 10, the Knights will get another crack with the ball at the 25. Fumble recovery by Ben Rempe. So Matt Janacek and Ben Rempe with fumble recoveries this evening. Gross has put it on the ground 3 times, lost it twice. Also 3 fumbles for the Knights. They have not lost any. So the Knights winning the turnover battle 2-1, but just have not been able to get anything going on offense. Just 115 yards of total offense. Brewster gets it out in the flat. Collision, and the Knights get it past the sticks. That'll be a first down. Got a late night here at Nate Lefebvre Memorial Field. Started the game 45 minutes late due to a thunderstorm that moved through the area right around 6 o'clock. Rained hard for a good 45 minutes to an hour, so everyone took cover, but the storms eventually passed and opened it up for the game, and the Knights get on the board. Sawyer Thompson from 13 yards out. And that's got to feel good. After giving up 34 straight to get in the end zone, the fumble recovery turns it over to the Knights, and Will Brewster leads the offense into the end zone with Sawyer Thompson finishing things off. Santa Maria just ekes it over the crossbar. So the score now 34-7 with just under 4 minutes to go. We'll take a quick break and be back with the final action here on the Mount Michael Strive Network. .349 left in the fourth quarter here at Mount Michael. 34-7 the score. Sawyer Thompson breaks the shutout with a 13-yard touchdown run for the Knights. Santa Maria with the kickoff. Line drive. That is Gage Mill. Good return for the Orange. The Knights at an even 100 yards rushing after that last drive. 5 for 21 through the air. Just 39 passing yards, 139 yards of total offense. And it's been Will Brewster at the helm since the middle of the second quarter. Jack Huber, the starter, left the game, has not returned. We have no idea if that's an injury or otherwise, but certainly hope that Jack is okay. Dealt with injuries in his sophomore season. Tommy Gilbert on the carry. And the Knights have been snake-bit at that quarterback spot. Sawyer Thompson went down with an injury last year. Huber as well. Had to move their wideout and free safety Eli Sirkovich under center before the end of the year. Eli, by the way, had a great 2020 season. Elected to the Shrine Bowl, represented Mount Michael this past summer. Son of assistant coach Randy Sirkovich, or Dr. C as he is affectionately known around campus, a biology teacher here at the Mount. Christy Sirkovich, also a staffer here with Mount Michael, working out of the Guidance Center. And it's great to see the kids back on campus here. As I mentioned earlier, over 70 freshmen. Biggest freshman class in school history. Kids are back in the dorms and back on campus and still fully in the stands. Enjoying a nice Friday night of football as the Cougars try and grind out the clock here. 2 minutes, 15 seconds and counting. Once again, a huge thank you to Huber Cadillac, our game day sponsor. The Huber family, very generous in their support of Mount Michael Athletics. On the gross side, Camping World and Colleen Almgren Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate also chipping in. A huge thanks to Sobe Vision Productions for their help in putting tonight's game on. Kyle Thomas on camera, Landon Fogel producing, Drew Kirkland and Ethan Raposa running the clock and helping out as well. And Gage Mill still in the game, spinning once, twice, and he's all the way down near the 20-yard line. Gage Mill, one of those quick backs. Jackson Drake, another, Ben Rice, Robbie Pekar. They can flash quickness, and then they can go big with Jake Garcia. We have not called Garcia's name much in this second half, the junior captain. A minute to go here in the game. And that might have been Garcia right there. Met at the line. And I think that Coach Van Hout's going to be content to let the clock run down. 45 seconds. Maybe enough time for one more play. So once again, a huge thank you to our Sobe Vision crew, and thank you for joining us on this Mount Michael Strive Network. I'm Sean McMahon. Not the game that Mount Michael wanted to see, but plenty of room for improvement as the Knights look to face Blair on the road next week. And that will likely be the last play of the game. Gross will improve to 1-0 on the year, returning home next week against Seward. Mount Michael hits the road to play Blair. 7:30 kickoff. We'll be back here at Nate Lefebvre Field on the 17th of September as the Knights return to face Plattsmouth. And we hit double zeros. You hear the siren. The game is over. Just over 2 hours as we finish at 10:26 on a Friday night. Your final score, Gross 34, Mount Michael 7. Once again, thank you to our entire crew, and thank you for watching. We'll be back with more action on the Mount Michael Strive Network in a few weeks. Until then, enjoy the start of the football season. We'll see you next time.